Hola, hola, mi gente. That was some more of our talented, block. That was Walter POP Presents. Those were his sounds we were playing just now. Welcome. How are you, panel?
Wow.
How's everybody doing? I'm gonna need more energy. It's Friday night. Welcome to December. Okay, what's going
I'm trying.
on?
I'm trying. I'm trying.
Do I have
The
to bring out
Energizer,
the
the Energizer Bunny just came and robbed me. I'm sorry. I was sitting there like taking like deep. So I'm like,
Well,
what
you know
happened?
what? Think of it as this is the end of the night. This is your little nightcap. Okay, we're gonna kick it for a little while. We're gonna be here for a good time, not a long time. It's Friday night. Welcome to December, everybody. Welcome to On the Block with Jen. Hi, Lily. Hi, Haran.
Hola.
Hola.
Pop.
Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, guys, you know the rules here. You can come up on the panel if you want to argue with us. We'd love to see your face. If you want to come up behind the avatar, you have to throw a super chat at us. Speaking of super chats and money, feel free to cash app the pretty lady. Help mama keep the street lights on. Cash app on the block with Jen. It is scrolling at the bottom. Thank you so much. Big, big thank you. Warm thank you to the people who cash at me when I'm off air because they caught the replay and they're like, yo, this is cool. And you do it after. That's very, very cool. Very, very much a surprise to me. Sometimes I'll be doing something random and I get a cash app and I'm like, oh, and they like, man. So thank you for that, guys. But the cash app is scrolling at the bottom, or you can super chat. We'll hang out here for a little while. Seriously, welcome to December, man. We made it another year. I said I wanted to end this year with a bang. Remember, I kept telling you guys that this is the biggest bang that we could have ever gotten. The success of our new shows is, amazing. I'm still flabbergasted. I'm still looking at the follower count and the viewer count, and I'm like, the fuck. Thank you so much to Sticky Paw Studios, who, seriously, they are really the wind beneath our wings. Okay. They really were the ingredient that the block always needed. Sisterhood Sips, huge success. On the Block with Jen 1-on-1, huge success. But you'll always have the block. Will always be here. Maybe not as often. Maybe not those 2-3 hour nights, but we'll always be here. We'll always come through, and we'll see where we can take the block as well. But right now, Sisterhood Sips is popping. That's the channel you want to be watching. Yeah, I got to say that's the channel that you want to be watching. It's caused a lot of controversy thus far. Men are very emotional in our comments. 90% of the, not even, I'd say 95% really of the feedback is men with a sprinkle of girls here and there on YouTube. On Instagram, we have more girls, but we came out the gate running. We just do what we do. We didn't know that, this was going to be the reception, but we appreciate you guys. And we are happy that you are here tonight.
Oh, I know there's some people who actually, now that I remember, I know there's some people who actually listen to my stuff on Spotify and so on and Apple Music or whatever. I officially have turned my back on streaming.
Oh.
Will not be doing any business with these greedy bastard motherfuckers.
Oh.
I will be taking my talents to my own self-built situation.
Nice.
Coming next year, most likely, maybe in the summer. Got some things I want to do before that to lead up to it. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna need you to be. I'm gonna need you to have more conviction. When is it coming? When is the project coming?
I took those 2 albums down, but I'm gonna release it again. But right now, I don't really know. I don't want to say the site will be up then because I got to figure out what the site is gonna do because I'm building it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
y'all will know what's going on.
All right. Give yourself a damn deadline, brother.
I'm about to say, give us a deadline.
All right. What's up, House of Matrix? What's up, YouTube Press? Evening to you as well, sir. Yeah, I'm feeling good, though. I'm excited about 2024. This is the last month. So, I'm going to try to cram as much as possible, tie up as many loose ends as possible this month. The end of the year is very symbolic for me. You guys know I don't celebrate holidays. I don't do the Christmas, Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, this day, friend day, dog day, secretary day, hair salon stylist day. Yes, there's literally a hair salon stylist day. Okay. They trying to get your money at every turn. There's pet day, there's
Apple
sister
Day,
day, sibling
Coffee
day, there's
Day.
Day, there's Coffee Day. People are just trying to get your money. I don't celebrate any of that, so they could keep adding them all they want. Microphone Owner Day, you can add whatever the fuck you want. I am not celebrating. However, the end of the calendar year is very symbolic for me because it's starting a new cycle, right? So I love New Year's Eve.
New York. That's
Say again?
They have no pants day in New York.
No, yeah, and people are all over the subway in their panties. No, thank you. But I know they did. They didn't do it last year, I believe. I don't know what happened, but they didn't do it. I think last year or the year before, whatever. So I don't know what's going on. I guess people are forced to wear their pants in New York until further notice, I guess. You know what's funny? We dropped a reel today on Sisterhood Sips. Share it to both our pages, Lily's and I on Instagram. You should be following us on Instagram. And Lily, I was actually wrong. I was telling the men that, you know, they worry a lot about us not being married, but they're the ones that should be afraid to get married because 80% of women file for divorce, right? I didn't make that number up. Those are the stats. You guys like stats, right? Guys like numbers, right? You like telling us what men don't exist that we want, right? So I'm telling you, 80% of women file for divorce. Lily, I was wrong.
Oh wow. What is it saying today?
Okay. So the number is actually 90% if she's any form of college educated.
So I don't understand. Why would you want to get married to a person who's going to eventually fucking leave? Like, what's the big stake thing? Like, what's the point of marrying women? Period. Like, what's the point? Like, no. Like, why? Isn't this the whole red pill thing? You know, predicated on marriage and letting her be in your frame and shit like that. Look, man, if someone told me, okay, if we played Russian roulette and I said 9 times out of 10, anyone who plays with me dies. Would you play the game with me?
No, sir.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be a fucking. But these guys seem to be lining up to be like, yeah, take my money, take half. Yeah, murder me in child support court. Take me. And it's just like, wow, man. Like, look, this bachelor's life ain't really that bad, bro. Like, at the end of the day, I just pay my child support. I come and be the hero for my kid. I hug her, kiss her, boom, boom, boom. We go get some ice cream, yada, yada. I give her some words of wisdom, and I'm out.
And you get to be in the company of beautiful women, I may add. Love you very much.
Exactly, as she plugs herself. See, this is women.
Okay. Okay. I'm just saying that it is
I can't have my moment. I gotta share it.
You had your moment. Didn't we let him talk, Lily, for about 2.5 seconds?
Right.
That's I was watching the timer too. I'm like, come on now. No, but seriously. Men weaponizing women that are single or not married or whatever. It's all bullshit. It is you guys that should be petrified, okay, of getting married. I'm good. We're good. I can get dick whenever I want it. I don't have to wash its drawers. I don't have to cook for it when I don't want to. I don't have to have it in my house when I don't want it in my house. But I could get it on tap because I got options and I have grand options. But I'm not going to get into that. You guys already know my story. However, the numbers are 70 to 80% women file first, 90% file if they are college educated. So good luck, guys.
You know what that means when she's college educated? You know what it means when she's college educated? It means she has more options.
And more standards.
And and when women have more standards and options, she's divorcing you.
Right. Howie G's asking, why is it when women quit dating men for other women, they still complain and seem unhappy, just like they were with men? Because, my answer, you guys, the panel, you can answer too, chat, you can chime in. My answer is human beings are not naturally monogamous. And when you are trying to force a square into a hole or vice versa, you're always going to have drama and beef. Two people coexisting, acting like they're going to commit to each other and only each other is always going to cause friction because you're doing something that's unnatural. That's my answer. I'll pass the mic.
Well, women have the what I call around the corner syndrome. No matter who they're with, they're always looking around the fucking corner. I learned that at a very young age in life with my mother. She no matter what she saw when she was shopping, even if it was a deal, even if probably it wouldn't be here when she went upstairs to look if there was something else. She went upstairs to look for fucking something else because she believed in her mind. She,
Blasphemy.
she truly believed in her mind that that would still be there when she came back. And that, ladies and gentlemen, men, that is the psychology of women when it comes to motherfucking dating. All that hey boo, hey stranger shit. When you seem to be on the come up and things just happen, they have this radar, man. You probably haven't even spoken to in 10 years, but they have that radar. They know when they old niggas is doing good. They just know it. They're just something.
Okay, let me throw some spice on it for you. Okay. The woman that you just described is a woman with not a lot of options, right? Seriously, because let's say if I'm shopping on a budget, you damn right I'm gonna be like, okay, they $50 over here, but I don't want to buy these, and then I go over there. Now, once my money gets bigger, I like them shits. I'm buying them shits. I don't care what's in the other stores. So honestly, it's a good analogy for how people date.
Yes.
Right? Because all women are looking around the corner. Women without a lot of options are hanging on to that dude, and they usually get cheated on because he knows he's better and he's looking around the corner. Fight me.
Well, to a certain degree. Men stop looking around the corner after a certain age. After motherfuckers are battle worn, the legs are rickety, they've gotten used to the routine. She's butt naked making eggs every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
They got used to that. You know what I mean? The sports is on Sunday. Anything that can kind of like throw that out of whack, they really don't want any parts of it. You've seen this shit. You know what I'm saying? Your older uncles, your older grandfathers, they got the what do I call it? It's the groove in the couch.
The groove in the couch.
Yeah, the groove in the couch. In the couch
so those are the men that are usually blindsided by divorce.
Absolutely. And they're usually left with just the groove in the couch.
Yeah.
Walks out the fucking door. You know what I mean? And this is why I tell men, even especially when they advance in age, you got to keep that killer instinct, man. You got to keep that aura around you that women still want you. You still got options. You still are out here killing. Because once women no longer smell that killer on you, that man on you, that thing on you, man, it's just things just get different.
So we're talking tonight about, and we're gonna help you through, Lily. I know you're tired, Mama, but we need you.
I'm trying. I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying.
We got you. That's why we up here. We got you. You jump in wherever you see fit. You say 2 words, I'll finish the sentence.
Right.
Sir, Uncle Buck says, I agree. Having money is relative. All women are vanity driven. We are. I concede to that. I can concede to that. We're talking tonight. Say again.
They're supposed to be vanity driven.
Yeah. We're talking tonight about, are men too emotional now? Men too emotional? For many, many years, and I've heard it as well, growing up as a kid, women complained a lot about men aren't in touch with their feminine side. Men aren't emotional. They're emotionally unavailable. I heard those words a lot. Emotionally unavailable. I mean, you see people in couples therapy. He's emotionally unavailable.
Right. Every rom-com,
Yes. You're such a tool. You're such a Neanderthal. You don't care about my feelings. And we've heard that for decades. Fast forward, social media, here we are. How you like it, ladies?
And I was never that girl. Never that girl. Because I didn't want to get here. I knew that shit was a slippery slope. I said, no. I'm going to need you to remain the asshole you are. Okay? I'm going to need you to remain as brute as you can be. Listen, a little toxic masculinity every now and then. Ain't never hurt nobody. Okay? But we not doing that.
Some of you ladies out here having ice cream sodas with your boyfriend on Fridays, using his pink polo shirt, his freshly manicured nails and toes, and you're
I
proud of
don't
it.
mind pink on a man now. I don't mind pink on a man.
As you don't see.
You can
I
call
knew
it salmon. Would it make you feel better if it was called salmon?
I knew shit was fucked up when a dude can sit next to a woman during a rom-com and she doesn't have to explain the emotional dynamics of the situation that's going on. He immediately gets it. As a man, how are you not confused by this? You immediately get this shit, this emotional IQ shit. The moment the shit goes on, he really should be listening to her feelings. Nigga, what? What happened? Like, so you motherfuckers need to, I seriously, some of these motherfuckers need to watch some old 80s action flicks, like Rambo. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some old Schwarzenegger flicks, man. Like, these dudes will be sitting there watching like rom-coms and these tortured affair movies with their girl. Like, what the fuck is that?
Well. In my past, I've had to force men to watch those movies. I've had to force them.
Based on the kind of men that you like, yeah, I'm not shocked.
Hey, yeah.
The men, like, nobody want to watch that shit, man.
However, there have been some that beat me to it, but he was love bombing and he was a narc, so he doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
But again, are men too emotional now? I say yes. I'm with Lily, no cap. Like, I never grew up even wanting a man to be emotionally that didn't even compute with me because who my father is and was, and that's just how I knew men to be. That was ingrained in my head of what a man was. My thing was always provider. Right. I wasn't on a man about being emotionally available. You don't have to be that. That's what my kids are for. That's what my friends are for. That I got plenty of emotional availability. My mama's on the line. My sister's calling me at 3:00. I'm oozing with emotional people all day. So I really do not need my man to be like that. Right. I need my man to be like, if I'm telling him, do you know this chick? I went to the job and she's blah blah blah, and I need my man to be like, so stop fucking hanging with her. What are you telling me for? Like, I need that from my man. I don't need him to come with me into my emotions. I don't need it.
I was telling a woman the other day, I'm not your friend. I'm your man.
Ooh.
I'm not your
honey.
Like, I'm your man. I'm your dude. I protect you. I provide for you. I do whatever. I'm not here with you. I'm not sitting in the like, no. Oh, that's not what I'm here for, man.
I wonder what else we need.
Billions of years of hunter gathering and so on. Me fucking men just cuddling with the woman after he done killed like 3 water buffalo. No. There's a certain distance that we have to have. I believe that. Yes.
I agree.
Emotional distance that men and women are supposed to fucking have in order for this shit to work.
Emotional distance. I like that. Let me turn this heater off. I'm cooking. Hold on.
I know you are with the 105-degree heater going on over there. Cause
I had it on 90 degrees.
I know you did. Mine had my thermostat said 95 in here the other day because of the project. I wanted to fight everyone on the block. Okay, I was about to go blow the whole block up. Like, I can't stand heat. I hate it. Oh,
I love it. So, hold on. With all that said, and yes, we're saying how we like men to be, and we had certain examples, but I think us three here, we connect a lot because we have similar experiences, right? Even if they were borderline toxic, I know my dad was. My dad was a tyrant. But we have similar experiences, right? The whole world is not like that. We get it. So do you ever think that masculinity can be toxic. It can be too much.
Yes, you can be. Such a thing as being a tyrant.
Mhm.
There's such a thing as being a vicious dictator. However, I do believe in balance. I believe in humble tyranny, meaning the subjects love you, they adore you, but they also know at the end of the day, any one of you motherfuckers can get it, and it can be real messy.
That
Things
sounds
like
like
that.
that's interesting. That sounds like that. Okay.
Things like that, I believe in. I show love to my family. I show love to my friends. I show love to all of them. Absolutely. I'm not over the top and what I mean, just extra. But motherfuckers know that at the end of the day, I'm with the shits,
Mhm.
and for me, that's enough. But I do believe that at times, yes, at times, extreme measures need to be taken in order for a certain statement to be understood,
Mhm.
and then we can get back to being, cool and calm and so on.
Okay. Louis Conyer, thank you for the super chat. It matches my shirt. Louis Cartier says the men that are too emotional are the ones without fathers and are not laced up on game. They were not properly told how humans behave. Bars. Courteous King says, as a man, is it better to be loved or feared?
Uh,
I say
it's better to be
respect.
respected. It's better to be respected, but it's better to be if we really want to just pick something. I
I
rather
think
be
that's nice. I think I think respected is better than either of those two. But if you had
absolutely
to pick, Ron, you were saying
feared.
feared. Okay.
You could love me and not respect me. You could love me and not give a fuck about me, and you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
You mean I can fear you and not respect you?
Uh,
No, I could fear you and not respect you. I could fear you and
uh,
think you're shit. Like a lot of, like, let's say Diddy's camp, right? I'm sure they feared him. That's
right,
why nobody,
absolutely.
but they didn't respect him.
I think they didn't respect him. I think they respected the consequences, hence the fear. You know what I mean? So I see what you're saying with that. When it comes to the love, see the thing about it is that, like I tell men all the time, and like I said, respect is the most thing. You know what I mean? Better than the two of them. But when it comes to love, a woman could love you but not respect you.
Like a puppy.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And when a woman sees you as a puppy, as a little, thing she keeps around the house, as a child, when once you take a woman's biological imperative of being a matriarch and you pull that energy out of her, she'll never see you the same again, because she'll say, I gotta take care of this nigga. This motherfucker's supposed to be choking me right now and just digging me out. But I gotta take care of this nigga. Your
Not
brain
sexy.
switches. Your brain switches.
You know what's crazy? That you can't get it back. I used to think you could get
No,
it
you
back.
can't. You can't get it back. You can't. No,
You
that's
can't
the
get it
fail stupid.
back.
I'd rather be a piece of shit. I'd rather you catch me cheating with three prostitutes covered in cocaine. I'd rather that shit than you lose total respect to me. Like, yo, I
Ooh,
take
Lamar Odom over there.
like seriously. I'd rather go out like that. I'd rather go out like that than
Yeah, like
you having to take care of me. That if I was here and then one day you come home and you taking care of me, I'm slumped over, a shell of my former self, and you looking at me, and everything, every secretion in your body just dries up. Everything, your sweat leaves, the box dries up, everything just dries the fuck up the moment you look at me. That's a debilitating motherfucking situation, man. That's horrible.
So Sarah C says something very interesting. She says men have always been too emotional. If they weren't, they wouldn't have a propensity to commit crimes. Now, it's funny because I made a joke about how men have called women crazy for eons.
Mm-hmm.
But when you think of homicide rates, when you think about people who kill their spouse, men lead, and they lead by many, many.
Absolutely.
When you think about killing yourself, I pulled up an article from the BBC, and it says
Hmm.
here in countries around the world, women are more likely to be diagnosed with depression. However, the male suicide rate still is several times higher than the female. So men
Absolutely.
are deleting themselves even if they're not depressed, right?
Well,
So you think of crazy.
And it's
we
the
all
women that get.
go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's the women that typically get killed when they want to leave, more so than men. And then the other thing is the number one cause of death for pregnant women is murder at the hands of men.
I mean, look, listen. I think also we have to take into consideration, like they say, like every man isn't a male and all that. It's a little bit deeper than that. It's a little bit more layered than that. The archetype of masculinity and manhood, that many of us look towards.
Mm.
A lot of men can't either aspire to it, they don't want to aspire to it, or it's just whatever. Like I said, there's always been only a small group of men that have helped to push the genome forward, whether it's through invention, whether it's through force, whether it's through whatever it is. It's only a small group of men have been able to have the courage and the capabilities to do that. Thing is that kind of man, women will always want, because women are just hypergamous. Just fucking hypergamous, because that kind of guy, 9 times out of 10, is the kind of guy you want to fucking mate with and multiply so that you can have strong babies and so on and so forth. Your brain isn't telling you like, yeah, I want the guy who didn't go to war. Yeah, I want the guy who didn't have the guts to follow his dreams. Yeah, I want the guy who just sits around all day. Your brain is not telling you that, because it's categorizing that with weakness. And as a female, when you see that, when a woman sees a weak man, she doesn't only see a weak man. She sees weak sperm. She sees a sick fucking kid that she's gonna have to fucking take care of, because this guy's fucking genes are shit. You know what I mean? When a woman sees a strong man, she sees healthy children. She sees someone who can protect her and her children. She sees a future.
So let's talk about men again. Constantly hit the like. Thank you, Sarah. Hit the like for me, lurkers. Come on, it's Friday. It's December 1st. Hit that like for me, baby. Um, when men are constantly again attacking women online because you're going to be single and miserable, get cats. Well, guess what else I read in the BBC? Yeah, this is very interesting. It's interesting how men always have very convenient stats and articles and scholars they read from, and they never find these. And these are so easy to find. I mean, it
Right.
took me clicks, right? Do single men have lower rates of suicide than married men do? Ooh, that's an interesting question. In layman's terms, do single men delete themselves more than married men do? Right? Because remember, we're the single ones that are going to end up with a cat and miserable, right? It's us, the single one. Okay. It says the suicide rates of married persons were found to be much, much lower compared to single or widowed people, particularly in males, single males. It's right here, the BBC, single males. So when men are saying you're gonna be lonely and miserable, you're gonna need a cat, honey, you better get a cat because it
No,
sounds
my favorite,
open well.
my favorite is you're gonna grow old and die alone. You're right. You're right, because women typically outlive men anyway. So you're right about that, sir.
Well, I'm going to get it.
Statistically, you're right.
What's up, Mr. Justin? How are you, sir? I heard your channel is popping. Nice to hear. Continued success to you. Hit that like for me, please. Y'all are cheap with the likes on a Friday night, December 1st. Don't do me. My birthday's this month, all right? I want you to hit that like all month.
One of the
We're
things,
talking about too emotional now.
one of the things I'm just seeing that, I don't know, maybe it's a generational thing, and these guys are just putting too much pressure on themselves. Like, how are these guys are just so marriage minded at like 19 and 20 years old? Like, what the
I was
fuck?
telling Lily that I never thought the tables would turn to where men are marriage. You ain't married, married. That used to be a woman's thing. And now
Yeah.
that's all you see spilling out of the mouth of men. I'm like,
again, the last two IG marriages I've seen, the dude is marrying his girl. I'm trying not to judge. This nigga was crying. Look, man, when I saw that shit, I was like, what the fuck is happening? You know what I mean? Look, I guess, again, this may be a generational thing. This may be a generational thing. My generation and the generation before me, you had to get us literally when we were like damn near on our last leg, or trap us, or threaten us. You know what I'm saying?
Ultimatum. If you're not gonna marry me, then I'm. Yep.
All that. We on the second kid. If you don't marry me, by blah blah blah, I'm out of here.
You had to kidnap men and force them.
It's like,
I mean, it was literally a running, reoccurring joke because it was true. The chat has some really interesting points tonight.
Yeah, I think there's been a paradigm shift. I think that's a good topic alone. Like talk about the paradigm shift recently, because it's not just the marriage thing. I'm seeing it with the children. I'm seeing more men with children on strollers. On the train. Way more now. And I called my bestie. I was like, "Is it me or am I the only one seeing it?" My bestie said, "Nope, me too." I said, "Okay, I thought it was just me." And then it's a lot of things. And then I'm hearing more teens complaining about mommy issues, meaning deadbeat moms more so than deadbeat dads now. Like it's a paradigm shift. So that's a topic that we can talk about.
So wait a minute. So wait. So it's very interesting. So are we saying that now that women have more power, more options, they like fuck them kids?
I already told you. You know how I feel about that, right? You already know how I feel like most people don't care about kids any damn way.
Let's keep it 100.
Like let's keep it, and it goes back to what Jen always says. Most of y'all didn't want the kids. Like y'all, it was like, ooh, oh shit, okay, I guess I'm stuck, right? So like really, most people really don't care about kids. They just use them as pawns and they use them as checkmate, right? When they want to get out of it, when they want to prove a point.
Yeah, because kids are great pawns for everything, for politics, for custody, for finances. They're great. Yeah. Yes, they're great. They're really good pawns, unfortunately, poor babies. So Therese said something interesting when we were talking about the suicide rate amongst men, blah, blah. He says that's because men are brave enough to actually go through with it. They're brave enough to actually go through with it. What do you think about that? They're brave enough to actually go through with it. I think they have a propensity for violence. I don't know if that's bravery. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bravery thing. I think because I've seen brothers almost in that state. It wasn't really I don't think it was a brave thing. I think it was at a point of hopelessness and loss of purpose. See, when a man loses loss of purpose, then he loses his compass. He loses his sense of direction. And then you start wondering. You ever see a look in a man's eyes when he has no purpose? He's just there. Like, and he doesn't look like he's really focused until he regains a certain sense of purpose. But if he doesn't get that, something in the back of his mind is going to say, "Why the fuck am I here?"
Right, and there's so many movies that depict that really well. Like
men. This is how men think. Men need purpose. Men need a war to go to.
Women just need a bottle of wine and a couple girlfriends, honey. We'll ride out like that.
Y'all just really need spoils to enjoy. Men, we need a mountain to climb. We need some shit. You know what I mean? If we don't have that, it's just like, what the fuck am I here for?
Thank you. Courteous King says, thanks for all the great content, guys. Keep up the great work. Salute to you, Jen. Happy birthday in advance. Thank you. You're my first happy birthday. Thank you. I will take it in advance. This was interesting too. I wanted to pull this.
I'll think what I'm thinking about.
Johnny Calderon. What's up, Johnny? ¿Qué pasa, Juancito? Says, never really was emotional with my ex, but once she dumped me and told me she wasn't feeling me in months and stringing me along until she fell out of love, hell yeah, I got emotional and cursed her out. Wasted my time over her lack of communication. What do you think about that?
Over her lack of communication?
Yeah. He says, never really was emotional with my ex, but once she dumped me and told me she wasn't feeling me in months and stringing me along until she fell out of love, hell yeah, I got emotional and cursed her out. Wasted my time over her lack of communication.
Well, was she? Wait a minute. Okay, I'm a little confused. Was she not communicating after she fell out of love?
No, she was already gone. He's saying
Okay,
over her lack of communication during the relationship. He
then why the
says it
fuck?
was him
Why was he around her
from
then?
him, huh?
I'm confused. Why was he around her? Like clearly that matters to him. Like okay, I guess I'm speaking from my perspective. Look, listen. Every woman I was with, so for me that would have been a bit of that would have been a bit of a benefit. You know what I mean? But you know, I maybe he wanted some sort of situation that was uh the antithesis of it. I think. See, this is why you need to have these kinds of conversations. You need to look for these kind of signs in the beginning before you really commit yourself to certain situations. There's always little things that show you a person might not be that great of a communicator. A person might be this, a person might be this, a person might be liable to do that. But a lot of times they're just so hell bent on the first night of rough sex that we ignore these certain things. You know what I mean? It happens. It happens. You know what I mean? Once we get past the animal attraction, all of a sudden these red flags seem to be a lot more blaring and a lot more noticeable. They were always there. We was just ignoring them. So I say to him, like, there had to be some sort of sign that she wasn't that great of a communicator. There had to have been.
Okay,
And
so but
I
I'll
was
say this.
with her.
I'll say this in his defense. I keep telling y'all, women, we leave emotionally and mentally before our bodies are out the door. And it'll look like a regular day because we don't stop doing anything. I'm cooking the
Exactly
same,
like
I'm
what
cleaning the same, may
what
even
Jessica said, and
every
what you
night.
just said right there. Her behavior was a reaction to him. Absolutely. So something was going on. And if here's
Right.
the
She
thing,
fell out of love. He says she fell out of love. So something happened there. Algo pasó.
here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. I like to tell guys when a woman is in a particular state, in certain states, especially if you really truly feel that she fell out of love, 9 times out of 10, she ain't falling back in love, man. Because nine times out of 10, when she falls out of love, then she still starts really seeing you for who you are. And you probably really at the end of the day weren't shit to begin with. But she put up with you. Now all of a sudden those glaring habits, those glaring things, those little idiosyncrasies that you had that you thought was cute before, that's just annoying as fuck. So, when she reaches that point with you, it's your best bet to get the fuck out of there. And
Yeah.
just do a postmortem of and evaluate yourself. Did you lead the situation correctly? Were you the best version of yourself? Did you allow yourself to go?
That's a
You know
great
what I mean?
question.
There's a lot of things. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that as a man you need to sit down and tell yourself. Because I've been there.
Did you
You know what
get
I mean?
too comfortable? Did you get too comfortable?
No, I've been there. I've been there in situations where, you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, shit is all right, man. I'm good, man, whatever. And then boom, you know what I mean? Shit
Mr.
just went
Justin, Mr. Justin, I am a Capricorn all day, every day. I am a Capricorn, not a Sag.
all over
My,
the Capricorn.
There's another very interesting comment in there. Hold on, let me find it. Oh God.
Wait a minute. She was talking marriage 2 weeks before the breakup? Or she probably thought she was pregnant.
Oh. Okay. Sir Uncle Buck says to me, my lady is my mama substitute.
Wait,
Please,
excuse me?
most guys. Yeah.
Wait. What happened?
oh God.
Uh-huh.
What did
Yeah,
he
I had
say?
to read that. I'm gonna read it again. Says to me, my lady is my mama's substitute. Please, most guys feel me. I don't know. Um,
So you be fucking your mother? You be having sex with your mama, man?
Happening.
I mean, if anybody who sits there and look, I'm trying not to judge, man.
I mean, but did you just ask that while eating
I
popcorn?
mean, you just said that with a lot with a very strong amount of conviction, and I'm just wondering, if that's a thing. I'm not shaming, man. You know, maybe a little.
We
You
have
know,
to shame a little bit tonight. Wait, before we go to the motherfucker thing, Mr. Justin, he said something very interesting to you, Johnny Calderon. He said her behavior was a reaction to him. So her behavior was a reaction to you. So there was something that you were doing or not doing that made her act that way or fall out of. There was something there. I know you said, bro, the night before she broke up with me, she was telling me how much she loved me. Women cap. I'm telling you, women cap. We say the darndest things, the darndest times. I mean it. Um, yeah. Mr. Justin also says no leadership and no program guaranteed. So he's talking about you, Johnny. No leadership and no program. Maybe she felt like she couldn't follow you. And I understand why you're confused. And he says that's why I was confused. I completely understand because I've done it. I'm a woman and I've done it. I've been like, I love you. I don't love you. I want to get out of here. I don't want to be with you anymore. Like we go through a lot of ups and downs emotionally before we like, I don't want this guy. I don't want this guy. And all the while you're thinking, you know what I mean, that it's a regular Tuesday because she's looking and sounding and acting regular. And in her head, she's like, I don't want this guy. I don't want him.
only advice I can give.
Motherfucker. My mama loves me. Does this lady? That's always my question.
Well, my daughter loves me. I don't necessarily put my daughter in the equation when I compare her to a woman that I happen to be dating.
But you know what? I've grown older and wiser. And I think, I said it earlier today, I think men that feel this way, it's very important that they remain single. Now they can fuck around, they can get their dick wet, they can date, but I don't think you should ever, 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 ever attempt to or pretend that you can commit to a woman because you're already going into it like, ain't nobody gonna love me like my mama love me. If you have that point of view, that is great, but don't pretend that you're gonna put a woman in that position. Just don't. That's what
it's so funny that you said that. My mom always says that. One day when my brother was little, little kids, especially little boys and their mama, right? Like, when I get older, I want a woman just like you, right? And she was like, no, don't ever say that. That's number one. Don't you ever say that. Number two, don't you ever compare me or any woman that you ever date to like two different things. And then she followed it up with what you said. She said, because those type of men are not, they're not qualified to be in healthy relationships because of what you just said. They're going to always compare the woman to their mother. Always, 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 always.
Look, I think that a lot of men, and I'm just going to say it, I think that a lot of men are deathly afraid to go through to live in this world without sitting down and doing the self work. So going out there and finding your mama, or out there and surrounding yourself with a whole bunch of fucking women are worried about, getting a woman and so on. That's a distraction or some sort of supplementation for the work you should be doing on yourself. A lot of these guys, man, they're putting entirely too much emphasis on relationships right now. Look, companionship is great. It's cool. It is awesome. However, people come and go. And if you can't sit with that, if that bothers you, then you need to really do some self-reflection because eventually this motherfucker is going to die. If they go before you, you know what I mean? Or they might wake up one morning and say that, all right, I had a wonderful time, but you know what? I just want to go. I just want to leave.
great.
And guess what? You know what? It's 9 times out of 10. That's just women. Like women will do shit like that. They're like funny shit. Rumor has it that Tia Mowry, whatever, the one who left her dude. Rumor has it that she's trying to work it out with the guy.
Sound like chick.
Yeah, she's trying to work it out with dude. You know what I mean? After careful reflection. No, it's not after careful reflection. You just overestimated your sexual market value, sis. You thought you was that chick. You didn't realize that at no given point in the lifespan and the history of the Maori sisters, that niggas say, wow, the Maori sisters, I need that. I get that. I beat that.
I need that.
Never heard a nigga say that shit in your life.
Let me tell you what her options are. If I were her friend, I'd be like, sis, you are in the market for a hobosexual. That's what you're in the market for. Like if you're aiming towards homosexual, you'll be in a relationship tomorrow.
Technically, yo, look, listen, homosexuals, they're like the bargain bin. There's always something in the bargain bin. Always something. And if you just tell yourself, I'm just grab whatever's in the bargain bin, you're gonna go home with something, man.
You get some good dick too, but she's
a very good dick. Very good dick. They're gonna come with the good dick. But okay. There's some truth here. You know how I feel about that. The homosexuals is always going. They're gonna bring it. They're consistent. Okay. Yeah, they're consistent. But there's a point. Yeah, because he was a homosexual when she met him. Like she met him at the bus stop. She was already the Murray sister, child star turned adult star. So yeah. I feel like that's her lane.
I'm
like
not taking anything away from the girl. You know, she's not my cup of tea. She's obviously the cup of tea of the gentleman that she married once. So that's that. However, people need to really be real with themselves also, and look in the mirror and say, like, you know, I think if she took time and said, okay, is this a Megan Good situation where I can say fuck this nigga and there's still some dudes lined up? You know what I mean? Not let me reevaluate my situation before I go fucking embarrassing myself and my family. Because at the end of the day, that's all she did.
Israel Grace, I mean, men do it too. He says, I want to leave this bitch sooner. I feel bad after 14 years of just dating, but she's slow as fuck.
Well, I'll say it. I'll say it like this. You know,
he says, "Wait, there's more." But wait, there's more. I had fun. Now I just want to do something different after 14 years. Keep everything and buy Dr. Dre style, and then she meets him while he's literally slinging drugs. Ooh, what? It just turned left. It just went left.
Real left. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know.
It's real funny how brothers, you know, understand, you know, why they're in lengthy situations that could be abusive, whether it be emotionally, financially, and so on and so forth. I said this already because they can understand that situation when they're in it, but they can't understand the situation when Cassie's in it.
Oh.
Like I said before, there's a lot of brothers in emotionally abusive relationships, financially abusive relationships, just abusive relationships, period. But them niggas ain't leaving. Why? Because they're scared to death of what she might do to them. She might take the kids. She might leave him a pauper. She might do whatever. And yes, they might leave him as a homosexual. So, you know, there's a lot of dudes out there who are taking it on the chin, you know.
What's up, POP? We shouted you out earlier. Good to see you. I want to jump into this real quickly. It says between 2001 and 2021, suicide rates increased significantly for men ages 55 to 74. It says, and this surprised me, among older men, the suicide rate generally increased with age.
I'm not surprised.
With men 85 and older having the highest of any group. This goes back to the only reason I'm surprised is because I'm like, motherfucker, you 75, 80 years old. You might as well wait another 3 years.
But see, you don't know what the other 75 was doing. Like you don't know how his life is.
I'm just saying, you got about 3 more years, Pops. Like, ooh, tough. At 80 years old, you're doing it. Motherfucker, you got about 2-3 years left. Relax.
Just ride it out.
Ride it out. So give you time to get the funeral together and your box and shit. Relax. Okay? Jesus. So that's why I was surprised. However, Lily, again, it goes back to these men keep telling us that we're going to die old and lonely and we should get a cat. And these guys are murking themselves from age 55 to 85, single.
I can see that.
This is crazy.
I have my theories on that.
I got my theory too, and it goes to what I
For
say.
me,
It goes to what I say all the time when I'm hearing the manosphere telling women they're gonna get old and die lonely, and I'm like, you don't realize most women once they get older they push the men away and they don't want to be bothered, and the men are usually the ones that are lonely.
are
Like
they
y'all don't see
protecting their
that?
fear? Because they say that a lot.
That's it. That's all they're doing. They're always doing. That's their own fear.
They say that a lot, and it's something that I never thought of. And when I tell you never,
Never,
I
never,
mean
never.
never. I watched
No.
my grandma take her last breaths, and the room was full. We were wiping her ass, like, and that's how family is. Like, I never crossed my mind. Y'all are alone. Look at the suicide. Y'all
I
don't
mean,
even
you
wait.
know, as society, yeah, as a social system, men most likely, even under natural causes, men will die alone. Um,
Jesus Christ.
I can see men of that age considering it for a number of reasons. Again, once your body begins to betray you, when you're not,
Betrayed.
no, listen, I'm about to talk real shit right now. You know, you wake up, before your penis. You know what I mean? In the mornings,
Oh, that
you know,
morning was for me.
you know what I'm saying. I mean, your body begins to betray you. You might, your children might have moved on if you have kids. You
Mhm.
probably got a whole bunch of, maybe you got ex-wives. Maybe you never had a wife. Your drive is gone because your testosterone is gone.
Oh, you
Again,
know what? You just opened something up for me, right? Pause. But
because
you just
after a
opened
while
something up.
you just
Yeah.
slump over. You don't see these guys after a while.
That's
They
yes,
just slump the
yes.
fuck over because their body, that will to kill in them survive. This man could have been a specimen 20, 30 years ago. Now all he has is war stories, regrets, and a stomach.
No,
And
he's Johnny. He's right. You know why? Because you know what I just thought of when you were talking. Women always have the children, the grandchildren. Somebody's always checking for mama. Somebody's.
oh,
I don't care if it's the neighbor. I don't care if that lady's single. We check for old people in the
Right,
neighborhood. Somebody's
right.
always checking for mama. But how many times are older single men checked for?
Right.
How many times are older single men check for? Women are always check. You okay, Mrs. Blah blah blah? I help you with the bags. You okay? Now, how you doing? I brought you a little dinner because I know you. Women are always checked for, right? There's a tendency to check for women, but men now these suicide rates and the age is making sense to me. Thank you for the
now,
super chat. Miss Kanye, hold on, says as humans, it's in our DNA that we understand pecking order in an environment with the new social programming of everyone is equal in participation trophies. It screwed up our logic. Absolutely. Amen.
look, listen. At the end of the day, this is again why I say men should be taking care of their testosterone first and foremost. And you be a hiker and a hunter so your dying day. Die, Bruce Wayne, man. Bruce was out. Bruce was out here hitting hoes until the day he died. He was Batman till the day he died, man. The moment this society, as men, they will tell you, so slow down, slow down. No, slow down. Have a family. It's over. The war is over. And then you slow down, then you slump over. You get into your routine. And everybody's coaxing you, feeding you right, blah blah blah, and then boom, one day you wake up. You're a shell of your former self, and your woman doesn't even want you anymore, and then she sends you the divorce papers.
So you want to know what's funny? That's
This
what
society kills men's drive because look, the first thing that happens to a man, the moment that he gets resources, what do? When you get married? When you gonna have some kids? Like, why do I have to be in debt to somebody, right? Why can't I just enjoy my money? Nobody trusts a single economically powerful man. No one trusts that guy because he can't be controlled. He can't be controlled. There's no kids to worry about. There's no wife. There's no this. This guy's just got oodles of fucking money. He's pumped up on testosterone. This guy's a fucking problem. We can't reel this guy in.
So retirement was created to kill our asses. That's literally why they created it, and it worked. It worked early on. They weren't expecting to be paying out people for 40 years and shit. They was like, no, go sit your ass down and die. We only gonna be paying you for about 5 or 6 years anyway.
And then Lily, and then they give you retirement age. They tell you you will retire. This comment is interesting. We may be going into the weeds here, but I want to play with it a little bit. A distinguished gentleman says women are too emotional, bring men through emotional roller coasters. So young men raised by single parents has influenced the ways of today's young men. Now both are complaining and crying all the time. Do you think, here's my question, piggybacking off of this, do you think that the demographic of men we see now are the results of single mothers? Is this like the bunch? Because remember, we used to complain about those kids all the time, right? Is this that bunch grown up? Is that the demographic of like emotionally
the crack babies? Crack babies are not babies no more.
Men that act like infants, the man children, the ones with the stunted growth and arrested development. Is this that brood of men that was raised by single mothers, at the risk of being insulting, because I know it's a hard job, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's a result to everything, to every cause and effect, right? So I'm just saying, is this the brood? Are we looking at the demographic? All these guys that are online crying and Kevin Samuels chatting, you're gonna die alone, you get a cat and you hit the wall. Is this that group of men that were raised by single mothers, and that's why they're so emotional online? Like I said, plugging it, Sister His Sips. Lily and I's new podcast, there is nothing but men in there crying. I mean, whining for hours and days about a 1 minute clip. Lily and I could drop a 1 minute clip, just 1 minute.
I think the problem is this. I think women haven't been totally truthful with men, or their mothers haven't been totally truthful with them. They say, especially in the manosphere, they shovel the idea of that, okay, our moms told us that we're supposed to be this kind of guy, that kind of guy, and women want this kind of guy and whatever. And it's true. Women do want that kind of guy. They just want that kind of guy wrapped in a fucking Adonis. That's what your mama didn't tell you. They want that kind of guy wrapped up in the fucking bad boy. That's what your mama didn't fucking tell you. They want that kind of guy wrapped up in the guy that every other woman fucking wants. That's what your mama didn't tell you. For you know what I mean, most of us who are of average, valor, you have to really look at things from an objective perspective and understand that your mother will always be your mother. One of the things that we have to do as men, a lot of us as men have to do, is that we have to take our mothers off of the pedestal and understand that this is a woman, this is a person, this is a human being. You just know as mama, she done fucked over a couple of niggas too. Your daddy probably wasn't the first she wanted, so that means you probably just made it, little nigga. You're probably, your dad probably wasn't the first choice, but things happen and boom, you're here. But she's not going to tell you that. She's not going to tell you that, she had a squad of chicks who was scheming on this nigga. That nigga probably lost the nigga that she wanted to a friend or to her sister. She's not going to tell you that. She's just going to tell you the ideal things that she sees in a man or that she wants for you and so on and so forth. But in the real world, a lot of that shit is not going to fucking work, man. A lot of that shit is not going to fucking work. And yes, a lot of these young men have allowed themselves to be declawed by their mothers.
So Mr. Justin is striking back on that emotional comment. He says, no, males allow themselves to be pulled into a woman's emotional roller coaster. So Mr. Justin's poking y'all in the forehead, all you men that are saying women pull you in to emotional roller coaster. He's saying male.
Just fucking leave the situation. If you refuse to be a part of that, a part of whatever, you do have that choice as a man. Just fuck it. You have the choice as a human being, as a sentient being, to choose whether or not to involve yourself with that. Be like, yo, man, I'm out. I'm good. Like, for instance, Jay, we were talking about the clip of those young people, and the young guy, he was explaining why, he was talking about EQ and so on, and how when men try to express themselves, women are, not as receptive, or they try to turn the tables and gaslight and so on. And if you notice, if you go back to the video, if you look at his hand gestures, he was saying it in a very pleading fashion. He looked as if he was begging.
Saying, "Give me grace." The guy that was like, "Give me grace."
He immediately started with "Give me grace." Like, man, fuck that. You should have just said, "Look, man, this is where I stand." Like, look, all these.
That's actually sexier than "Give me grace." Absolutely, absolutely.
Listen, like, no. Listen, I'm not going for this. This is not what where I'm going with it. We either gonna fix this or not. Well, I'm good. No, I'm good. No. We're not gonna talk about it. No. I made my decision. Because if you sit there and you go back and forth, never go back and forth with a woman, man. If they pull you into that shit, if they pull you into that thing, never do that. Because
no, I want to touch
being right. It's just the back and forth.
No, I want to touch on there quick. Thank you for saying this too, Mr. Justin says. Once you're grown, you no longer have the privilege of blaming their parents. That's so fucking true. That's so fucking true. You make decisions and choices on your own. No parents are perfect. All our parents did some shit that had us looking at them like the fuck. But then you grow up. I can't be like, because my dad did X, Y, and Z. I can't. Okay, so I do want to explore that real quick around, because I think it's important, and men don't realize how important it is, right? Either the clip that you're talking about, I already felt, okay, some people gonna get mad, but certain type of women already look at men a certain way. They feel like this is a matriarchal society. You ain't talking over me. I'm gonna tell you how it is. I've seen it all day, every day. I've been that girl too, but I've only been that way with men I could not respect. Right? So then it's like the gloves are, I don't give a fuck what you do. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what happens. I don't care if you don't like it. That's life. That's nature. That's how the fuck it is, right? We do respect the fucking bigger rooster in the room. You're not going to change nature. I don't care if you're insulted by it. I don't care. You just see women are top. It doesn't matter. No. From the fucking spiders to the monkeys to the lions to the tigers to the bears. That's how nature is. So get over it.
And men also respect other men, but they disrespect the males as well. So they just put it on us, like we're the only ones disrespecting their ass. No, you're getting disrespected all across the board, sir.
Thank you. And let me really sidebar. Diddy had an entire staff of dozens of people scared to death of him, and they were male. So you do know a pecking order. Men do know a pecking order. Now they're all coming out. Now the men are coming out because who came out? The women.
A fucking woman had to come out first.
A woman came out and said, "This dude is a tyrant." Now all the men, the bodyguards, the people that were signed to him, yeah, Diddy. Now all the men are Me Too. Now there's a Me Too going on with the men that work for.
I was thinking that before I logged in here because I saw something else, and I was like, hold up. They keep asking why is she just now coming out? Why is these dudes just now coming out? Now all of a sudden, now I got something to say. He touched me. He looked at me. He fucked me. Like, it's like, well, hold up now. Y'all all coming out too. So why y'all not asking all these men where were they at doing all this? Oh, I watched her get thrown down the stairs. Yeah, he threw it out. She was pregnant. He kicked the baby out of her. It's like, so you just watched all this, and now, oh, I feel safe now that she done said something.
So again, and again, I'm sorry, guys, but those are black men coming out now talking about Diddy, right? And I think that black men are very much used to a matriarchal environment because of their mamas and their sisters, because their mamas and their sisters laid down the law in their home, and that's how they view everybody. But dig this, speaking of pecking order, 50 Cent has been on Diddy's neck from the beginning. I mean, on his neck. Who else in the industry has done that? Nobody, right? So there is a pecking order, and now Diddy has to deal with a man, just like him, another tyrant, right? So now it's getting good, right? To the point where 50 is saying, I'm gonna produce the movie Surviving Diddy. I'm gonna do it, and I'm talking about he's been on his neck before, if you recall, before this thing with Cassie dropped. Before, when he was on his tour, he was saying, I don't go to his parties, they hug you from the front and the back. Before Cassie's the big, oh my god, the bomb that Cassie dropped, right? So there goes the difference between when you're dealing with somebody that's más macho and the bodyguard who didn't come out till Cassie said something. But going back to the point I was trying to make that you said, Haram, is that men, they're very afraid of, again, I say men are not confrontational. Men argue with me about it. Yes, we're confrontational. Men are confrontational when they're ordered to be, like in the military, when they're intoxicated, or when they have severe trauma. That's it. But men by nature are not confrontational. Okay. They're very laid back, actually. Matter of fact, I said on my post, they don't even send a burger back. A woman has to do it. A man could be like, damn, they didn't even cook this the way I want it. What do women do? You don't got to eat that, baby. Hold on. Excuse me, miss. His burger's not done right. And men are like, no, I'll eat it. It's okay. And we see that over and over and over and over again.
That shit.
You've seen that over and over again because that's how it is. Because women are more, you know what I mean? We're the lionesses. So we like, what happened? I'll fix it, right? Men are not, unless they are intoxicated, they're drunk, they got them liquor muscles, or they're in the military and they're ordered to kill other people because that's their job, or they have severe trauma and they're just violent and they deal with violence with everything. But as a demographic, no, men are not naturally confrontational and violent. No, they have to be provoked, very much so, right? So in that,
but I see the point you're making. No, I'm not. I'm saying I see the point you're making. I'm not saying that you're off on it totally, but I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, but I was kind of conditioned. Like my mother's an extremely assertive woman, and my father's extremely aggressive. So I just came from an environment where it was just an aggressive environment. However, there are times when I had to learn to like just ease back and let certain things go because of my own temper. And I think that it's a much layered situation. I support wait 1 second. I support your statement because this is one of the reasons why I say those guys didn't say anything because they were afraid of the retributions of being ostracized by the pack. Far too many men put acceptance from the pack above all else. Like, what are the guys doing?
Who are you talking about? What men didn't say something because they were in fear of being ostracized?
I'm talking about, no, I think these men actually, and they did not come forward because in many ways they didn't want to seem like a snitch. So they waited for this woman.
And everything come forward because I don't think it was fear of being ostracized. I think it was a fear of being hurt physically.
Could be either or. I mean, this is Diddy. I'm not saying that wouldn't have happened.
I say physically. Diddy has hung people out of windows. Diddy has slapped men, kicked, punched. If you ask a certain,
let's take away the Diddy situation for a second.
No, I want to stay here for a minute. If we ask a certain group, he's even had people murked. Okay, so I don't think it was the bodyguard was like, oh, I don't want to be ostracized. He was like, this
on
is
the
crazy.
Block with Jen, by the way.
What happened?
We're not accusing him on the Block with Jen, by the way.
No, Keefy D. Keefy D accused him.
Oh yes, that's right, Keefy D.
Keefy D accused him. So I think that's what they feared more. But you were saying, and I think Lily was going to jump in and say this, you're actually proving my point. You're a certain way because you grew up in a very violent environment.
But that's why I was saying, that is why I was saying I see your point. Because in my situation, it's kind of like, all I really know is fucking violence. So I can't really sit here and say that it's not like saying like I come from a very naturally quiet home and I'm just a violent fucking person. That's a different situation. When you're raised around it, it just comes natural. But anyway, the other point that I was saying was that outside of this Diddy thing, when you see in gangs, when you see in crews, when you see on the streets, brother, a lot of men are deathly afraid of walking alone. They're deathly afraid of existing alone. They got to be with a crew. They only feel like a man when they're with a bunch of motherfucking dudes. Their identity is connected to knowing a bunch of guys. They can't exist in a solitary situation. You know what I mean? So that is one of the reasons why I feel what you're saying, because when you exist in a solitary situation, you have to face life many ways on your own. You have to go at life on your own, and it does take a degree of assertiveness. It does take a degree of focus to do that. But a lot of times with guys, they do not want to lose the acceptance of the pack, so they don't do certain things.
Saw that in Chimp Empire. Remember, Lily?
Yep.
You saw that in Empire?
Chimp Empire gave it to you. They gave you all the tea.
They were chimps afraid of going against the pack.
Well, it was the exact same stuff. Everything we talk about on the block, the chimps was doing. Like every single thing. That's why
they ostracized. He didn't know what to do with himself.
Right. He's sitting there just with sticks.
He didn't know what to do, and they was like, "You better not come here."
Like if you, and this is the thing, like far too many men attach their identities to two things. Either the admiration or the adulation of a woman, or the acceptance of the pack. At what point in time do these motherfuckers actually know themselves, or walk the planet by themselves, or exist in a situation by themselves? It's usually the innovators, the male innovators. As a matter of fact, it's usually the male innovators in this world. A lot of times when you sit down and you speak to them, they were loners.
Yep.
Yeah.
My favorite kind of men are loners, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like they tend to be free thinkers. They tend to march to the beat of their own drum, and they know that motherfuckers are full of shit. They know people. They're very intelligent.
I can't stand. Let me tell you, you want to turn me off? I can't stand me a key motherfucker. Always up in everybody's face, looking for acceptance, looking to be loved. Everybody got to love him. He got to be community boyfriend and community friend. And I'll do it. I'll move the car. I'll help you move furniture. I'll paint your living room. A key motherfucker. Got to make everybody laugh. Always showing their goddamn teeth. Get from around me with that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Get from around me with that.
I struggled for years in corporate America because I didn't do the holiday parties. I didn't do the good morning and the happy Fridays. I'm like, what the fuck out of here? You know what I mean? I struggled a while because, there was times when certain things were said to me, and looking back, it wasn't really that bad, but something just kicked in me, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking to? And there were times when that happened in a corporate environment many moons ago. You know what I mean? I almost, was fired because of it. But it's also a different thing though. Like there's a sense of privilege that you have, Jay, that I don't. Mm-hmm. Like you're shorter. You're a beautiful woman. You're light skinned.
What?
You losing your mind and getting violent. That shit arouses motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Me getting angry. That's what I'm saying. Me getting angry, me getting loud, me getting whatever. I might get arrested. You know what I mean? A few times the cops have been called on me. So it's a different time. It's a different situation with me. I have to watch myself more. You know what I mean? Because there's real consequences on the other side of things if people get frightened by me. You know what I mean? So in that regard, I do watch myself like, eh.
So going back to, because we didn't get to the clip thing, but going back to something Mr. Justin said, and also what you said about that clip, basically the guy was asking the woman permission to let him speak. He asked her to give him grace. Yes. And he would have been better off saying what you said, saying, this is how I feel. I'm going to get through it. And you're going to wait for me to finish talking. Absolutely. And, and then again, going back to men are not confrontational, especially black men. They're used to Big Mama tell them what they not going to do. And their sisters all up in their ass, what they not going to do. I think they're talking from that point of view. And I think that's why that guy asked for grace and let me finish speaking. Because then men will say, then what should I do? Right? What should I do? If a woman is you do not engage. You stay 10 toes down. If a woman is talking over you, if she's not going to respect you, if she's not going to respect your authority, and yes, I say authority, okay? If she's not going to, you do not engage, because some women, you disengage.
Absolutely.
You disengage. But what happens with men is, because they're men, right? They got their ego and their bravado, and they're like, well, I'm going to engage. You can't engage with a woman. We're wordsmiths. We can talk for fucking ever. We go on and on and on. We're vicious with our tongues. You're not going to be that's not your forte, guys. You guys, you have strengths in other areas. That's not your forte. But in my opinion, my advice, you don't engage. So that guy in that clip on that stage, right? No, because she had to come in and he should have said, I'm going to finish what I'm saying. And if you don't let me finish, I will not engage you again. And then he had to mean it. And if but I just wanted to say, you walk away. There's nothing more powerful than that. But on YouTube, on social media, I don't know how these men got here, but they're conditioned to go back and forth and bicker. These motherfuckers are on the Sisterhood Sips YouTube page for days, like little bitches. And that's all we see. And it's funny because they think that Lily and I are saying, ooh, look at that guy. He spelled hoe with an H-O-3. Ooh, what a big, tough man. We're like, look at these bitches. Look at these little.
I will say this though.
You haven't seen in TikTok, they've been arguing with women over at our TikTok for a week now. The same guys. I've been seeing the same guys arguing with women on our TikTok for a week straight. I haven't said anything. I just peep in every now and then.
I'm just flat out saying, I don't know what a motherfucker gets out of arguing with a woman. So what do you get?
A conversation with a woman. Because they're probably not getting that, obviously.
You know what?
That right there, Lee.
There's one thing that the two of you, I've never heard you say. It's very indicative also of how you think about men. I've never heard you say this one thing. And this is the reason why a lot of these women are fucked up now. Because they said this shit. They say this shit.
Uh-oh.
Always judge a man by how he treats his mom.
Never said that shit. No.
Always judge a man on how he thinks about his mother. Now look what you got. You got a bunch of motherfuckers who can't climb under their motherfucking mother's skirt.
No.
You got
their mother could be a bitch.
She's looking for you to be their motherfucking mother. You got a bunch of women running to people talking about, I can't get their mama, he can't get his mama out of our business. His sisters, blah, blah, blah. Yada, yada. No. But I thought you wanted him to be emotionally in touch. I thought you wanted him to be emotionally intelligent. Look, emotional intelligence, it's not really for guys, man. Look, like, what did that do? Like, during the caveman days, like, what did that do? Like, are we here because men were more emotionally intelligent? Are we here because of that? No, we are here because men knew how to lead, blow up shit, fuck. You know what I mean? Get money and resources and kill whenever. We are here because of that. We are here also because women knew how to be nurturing. They're the ones who have the emotional EQ. They have children. They know when to do certain things, and they were emotional whenever need be. And men would walk off every time that they were emotional to go kill another water buffalo. So you see, that's just the whole thing. This whole thing used to go a certain way, and we are here, and it worked for millennia. I don't know why motherfuckers think that we can change this shit in a span of 10 years. Because we really want to. I'm done with my rant.
Thank you for your rant, Mr. Man. All right, guys, that was our show for tonight. This was dope. Chat, I'm telling you, chat, y'all been killing it the past couple days. Chat has been killing it a couple days. I hope you learned some things tonight. Men, again, I would advise you, walk the fuck away. If a woman is over talking you, yelling at you, she does not respect you. And maybe you're not the type of guy that's going to go upside a woman's head. So take yourself somewhere else where a woman is going to respect you. But also bear in mind, you have to be a respectable man. You have to be something that women are going to respect. Sorry, that's life. That's nature. Sorry, guys.
I hate to say it. you know, rich men rarely get spoken to that way. It's just what it is. You'd be hard pressed to see a woman talk that way to Jeff Bezos. I'm just
Unless
saying.
he pays for a dominatrix, then it's all
Exactly. I'm
When
just
a,
saying.
when a rich man wants to get disrespected, he pays a bitch.
You gotta pay for it. That is a jewel. When a rich man wants to get disrespected, he gotta pay for it. I'm just saying, man. If your bank account crazy, women shut the fuck up. They really do.
You're absolutely right. And sorry, guys, before we go, women do treat men differently according to how they are, how they move in their environment. You know what I mean? How much money's in their bank account. It's true. Sorry. It's just it's the facts. When you think about money, don't even think about, oh, they gold diggers. It's just a form of protect, provide, survival. And the guy with the most buffaloes gets the girl, right? Now you can get with a girl that only cares that you brought home a hoof, but she ain't gonna be a dime. Okay? Is that realistic? All right, guys. So with that said, hope you learned tonight. This was a dope one.
Yeah.
I just got here. Shit, rewind this motherfucker. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for the happy birthday. My birthday is coming end of December. Don't forget, go to Sisterhood Sips. It's amazing, really good. Jumped off with a huge start. Mr. Justin says, rich men, celebrities, and such get played and disrespected and left every week. Mr. Justin. Okay.
Which ones?
Are
you talking about Will Smith?
Right. I'll speak for me. Huh? I said I'll just speak for me on that note. I'll just quote Drake. Niggas without money act like money isn't everything.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, there is a pecking order, and yeah, of course, everybody gets disrespected. However, it's like the movie Coming to America. That dude was a princess. She was up there like, oh, you bark on one foot. You know what I mean? Bark louder, big dog. We cannot lie. Let's not lie to people. We cannot lie that there is a pecking order. A skinny man is going to be less attractive than a guy that works out all the time. Okay, we can take money off the table. Let's take money off the table. A skinny man or a man with a pot belly is going to be less attractive innately to a woman than a guy that works out all the time. A man that works at McDonald's, of course, he can get plenty love, but he's not going to get the reception of a rich guy walking in the room in a suit.
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
And we could flip it. Roseanne Barr isn't going to get the attention that I'm going to get walking in a room. We could flip it.
Absolutely not.
All right, guys. So, but thank you, chat. You guys are dope. You guys,
y'all have a good night.
Have a good night. Happy Friday, and welcome to December, bitches, and end of the year. You got a month to wrap it up. Leave them people you don't want to be with. Make your money, make your plans, okay? Start that diet, start that workout routine. December, we are here, all right? All right, guys, good night. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door. Don't forget, you want to support Mama. Help keep the street lights on. Cash App on the block. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Good night. Woo, that was a good one. Yeah. Good night, guys.